Hello teachers, my name is Teacher Stephanie from teachingstephanie.com and Teaching Stephanie on Instagram. And if you are on this channel, you are looking for ways to find the fun with online teaching. If you clicked on this video, it is because you want to know your next steps as a VIP Kid teacher and the new changes that came with the new Chinese government regulations. In August, there were some big changes that rocked the ESL teaching world. New regulations in the Chinese government made it so that foreign teachers could no longer teach online to students living in China. This was huge for not only VIP Kid teachers, but a lot of other ESL teachers too. First and foremost, I want you to know that I am here for you. This is a huge change for so many teachers that have taught loyally for years with these students on the other side of the planet.
I hope you know that you made a difference in not only their education, but in their lives as well.
I have been with VIP Kids since 2017, almost 4 years of contracts with them, and I will be forever grateful for them in providing a small income for my little family as I stayed at home and taught in the early morning hours and give me a love for teaching online. Now, you're probably wondering, what are my next steps? I'm going to talk about what you can do as a VIP Kid teacher, next steps you can do there, and I'm also going to be talking about how you can look at other companies as an opportunity to build multiple streams of income as an online teacher who is an independent contractor. Let's get started. So as I said, in this video, we are talking about action steps that you can take as a VIP Kid teacher to move forward with your online teaching business in ways that you can build multiple income streams to really help you in this time of uncertainty and to give you some hope for the future. This is really an opportunity for you to maybe pivot in another direction or to do a 180 and do something completely different. But I really want you to take a deep breath, breathe. It's going to be so great and it's going to be so good in the future if you take the chance now and look for ways to make lemonade out of lemons. Now, these tips for being a VIP Kid teacher are tips that I found from my friend Minnesota Teacher Mom on Instagram. I'll leave her handle here so that you can check her out, but she went through and really thought about action steps you can take as a VIP Kid teacher to maximize your efforts on that platform still. The great thing with working with VIP Kid is that they were already going international and they still have that opportunity available to them and their teachers. They're not shutting down, so you can look at that as a way to really expand your reach with VIP Kid, to stay with them and to see what might be available there in the future, even if that means your bookings might dip for a time. The first tip she gave was to get all the certifications you can. So go through and see what is available to you, see what you can get and get certified in that. In the VIP Kid app, you can do that by going to the resources tab and clicking certification. And in the certification center, you will see all of the courses and certifications that you can get to really help you be the most qualified and have the most opportunities within VIP Kids platform. Another thing that I love that she suggested is to request the international program. You can do this by submitting a ticket with VIP Kid. This will open up your opportunities for teaching students outside of China, which is still available for VIP Kid learners. There are some students that live in other countries that speak Chinese and want to use VIP Kid services, and they are still allowed to have foreign teachers teaching their students. It is just the students living in China that cannot participate anymore in VIP Kid lessons. So submit a ticket to be on the international program. And the last tip she gave I thought was absolutely wonderful and something that I wish I would have started sooner. Communicate with your families that you're staying. Let them know that you will be staying with VIP Kid for as long as you can, and they're able to finish out anything that they have booked previous to these regulations being implemented. So if they booked a package, they can still book you, and just make sure that they know that. You can do this in your feedback. If you have their WeChat, you can do that there, but let them know that you're staying with VIP Kid, and that way they know they can still book with you and that you aren't leaving them. Now, maybe you're thinking, that was really scary. I just lost a ton of time slots with VIP Kid and I don't want to put all my eggs in that basket. I want to branch out to other companies. But which companies do you sign up for? I'm going to divide this section into 2 different categories: the companies where the lesson plans are provided to you, and then the companies where you create your own lesson plans and maybe help you decide from there what might be the best option for you. Now, I have to preface this that I highly encourage you to have multiple companies on your resume. Make sure that you're keeping up to date with them. I started out with VIP Kid and then I switched to mostly teaching on OutSchool. But VIP Kid has been great to supplement my income in those time slots that don't get booked with OutSchool. And I have two companies I can back each other up on and really use as inspiration for teaching for both. Okay, so let's start out with really thinking about what you want to do as an online teacher. The first question I want you to think about is, do you want the lessons made for you, or do you want the opportunity to create your own lessons? Now, notice I did not say you have to create your own lessons, because I really see it as an opportunity. As a VIP Kid teacher, there would be a lot of times where I would be thinking, oh, I wish they would switch that slide with that slide, or I wish they phrased it this way. And as an OutSchool teacher, I am in charge of that now. I get to fix those things that are bothering me or teach it in a way that makes sense to me as a teacher and usually translates a little better for my students as well. So look at that as an opportunity to make lessons that make sense for you and for learners like you. Now, the two companies I'm going to recommend here are KidPass and OutSchool. Obviously, if you've been on my channel before, you know I love OutSchool, and I know that lesson planning can be incredibly intimidating. I have not taught with KidPass, but I have friends that teach there and absolutely love it. Now, the cool thing is that as you're creating your lesson plans for OutSchool, you can use them as well on KidPass. So I highly encourage you to try both. Maybe start with one that you know and you can get a good grasp on, and use your resources for the other. Recycle those things. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. You can use those resources again on another platform to see what's working. Where are you getting the most bookings, and where is your time most effective? I will leave links down below for OutSchool and for KidPass so that you can apply there. But if you need any help with applying to OutSchool, please be sure to download my free guide. It takes you from application to successfully teaching your first class. I walk you through every single application question with examples, with tips and tricks on how to answer them and format them. All of the good stuff. I want to make sure that you are successful in that. Another thing I do for my referrals only is I do a live Q&A Zoom session every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern to really answer your questions, get over those mind stumbling blocks, and get you on to teaching those kiddos. If you're one of my referrals, all you need to do is send me an email so that I can check my referral tracking system, and I will send you the Zoom link so that you can join those live Q&A Fridays. Now, maybe you're thinking, I do not want to create a lesson plan, and most people don't. I am an exception in that I absolutely love creating lesson plans. That's why I can help people do that. I'm one of those people that absolutely loves creating lesson plans, but let me tell you, most people do not enjoy creating lesson plans. They love to teach, but they do not like planning out what they're going to say, finding out the objectives, coming up with learning activities. Nobody got time for that. So if you are somebody that says, I do not want to do lesson planning, I want the company to provide lesson plans for me, then this part of the video is for you. The next question I want you to answer is, what subjects do I want to teach? Do I want to stick with ESL? Do I like teaching English as a second language? Or maybe you want to go to reading. Maybe you want to try math. There are a whole bunch of companies that you can go into, but let me give you a few examples so that you can look for those companies and try your hand at those if you want the lessons made for you. But you're going to want to stick around because there is a surprise at the end for a company that you might not have thought of that creates lesson plans for you. So if you're thinking about teaching math, I really want to recommend SplashLearn to you. This has an awesome curriculum of math lessons created for you where you can teach students math concepts with lessons that you do not have to create. If you're thinking about teaching reading and you're really excited about tutoring kids on how to read and on letter sounds, high frequency words, how to get faster and more efficient with reading, I want you to check out Savvy Reading. This online reading tutoring company focuses on Common Core aligned lessons for teaching reading skills. You can do individual classes here or group lessons, but the curriculum is provided for you. If you want to stick with ESL, you just want to get another company under your belt, let me recommend two really great companies. The first is Cambly. Cambly is great for teaching students worldwide English as a second language. The best part about Cambly is that you only need to be a native English speaker over the age of 18. No degree or experience is required. You also get to choose from 24/7 hours, which is so great for your schedule. Now, the second company I want to recommend is Hollow. On Hollow, you are actually teaching adults. And the cool thing about Hollow is that you can choose from their pre-made curriculum, or you can create your own, or you can do a mix of both. So they have topics from interviewing, finding your dream job, love and dating, so many cool things that you can have a conversation with an adult and really be teaching them the basics of English as a second language. Now, here's the surprise you've been waiting for. If you've been here waiting to the end of the video, first of all, high five. Thanks for sticking around. This is going to blow your mind, and it might not be something you have thought of before. The other company that you want to consider with pre-made lessons is, wait for it, OutSchool. Yes, I said that right. I know that you can definitely create your own lessons and make them customized to your passions, your expertise, the kids' interests, the parents' demands, all of those things you can create for yourself as an OutSchool teacher, and I love that. But did you know that there are companies that hire independent contractors to teach their lessons on OutSchool? So these businesses teach on the OutSchool platform and use it for marketing and other things. They're each going to have a different rate of pay, different requirements, and different subjects for you to teach. But you can still be an OutSchool teacher and teach for these companies. There's a Facebook group that connects OutSchool teachers with organizations so that they can post a job opening and have you apply there. So I'll leave that link below so that you can find these companies that have made the lessons for you and you can still teach with OutSchool. Now, this means you will also need to be hired as an OutSchool teacher. You'll need to make sure that you meet all of the requirements and you're going to complete the application, the questions, and the video submission. I highly suggest you use my guide as it goes over everything you need to submit a successful application, and then you'll need to pass a background check. Now, my friends, I know that you're probably overwhelmed right now, but again, I want you to take a deep breath, take these action items with you, and go and do the thing. Make the most of the opportunities you have available to you with VIP Kid, and then go and get some other streams of income with another online teaching company. It never hurts to have a backup option. If you are still overwhelmed with the thought of planning your lessons, I know, the dreaded lesson planning, stick around for next week's video, which is going to be all about lesson plans you can easily create yourself. More specifically, these are going to be lesson plans where the materials are already created for you. And in the words of my hero, Mr. Rogers, let's make the most of this beautiful day. Goodbye.